Okay, in this video we're going to look at fixing up these collisions so that things collide with what they should collide with, etc, etc. Okay, to do that we have to use a thing called a collision filter. A collision filter is made up of category bits and mask bits. What we need to do is we need to define the filter and then pass it over to the physics body. Now we need to work out what values to use for the category bits and what values to use for the mask bits. To do that, it's easiest just to draw up a simple table. I'm doing my here in Excel. So across here I have my physics bodies that I'm worried about. I've assigned each one of these as values. The values will be doubling each time, so 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, etc. I think you can have up to 16 physics bodies on this applied at the same time. Don't quote me on that. Down the side here I've got the same physics bodies, and for each one of those I've got whether it for its category and does it collide with it. So the first thing you want to do is go through and put we'll just use X. I'm going to go through and put an X for if that is what it is. So a bullet is a bullet, yes. A bomb is a bomb, yes. A ship is ship, etc, etc. And then I can put in the total for the category. So that a bullet will be category 1, a bomb will be category 2, 4, 8, and 16. Now I need to figure out what does it collide with. Alright, a bullet, so I'm not sure exactly why, but you always have to have it colliding with itself, so that'll be there. A bullet collides with a bullet. It doesn't collide with a bomb. It collides with the enemy, and it collides with the block. So adding across there, I can say that's 25. Okay, a bomb will collide with the ship, collide with itself, and collide with the block. So adding across there, I can see that 22. The block here means the base. So 6. Yep, that's good. Alright, a ship will collide with a bomb, and that's all. So that is a 6. An enemy will collide with itself. It'll collide with the bullet, and you might want it colliding with the base, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. So that's 9. And a block will collide with itself. It'll collide with the ship. No, it won't. Sorry, it'll collide with the bomb and the bullets, so we can shoot it at ourselves. So that will be 16, 18, 19. And those are the values that we're going to enter in. Okay, so let's start with the bullet class and just work our way across. So bullet, down here when we're defining the physics body, we first want to set up the filter, and looking at here, the category is 1 and the collides with, which is the mask bits, is 25. So if I go back here, I can set up a new variable. Doesn't matter what you call the variable. I'm just going to pass it over into the physics body. So here, put it between brackets, full caps lock, filter equals, I'm terrible at spelling, I'll probably spell it wrong, so let's do that. Filter equals border collision filter. Okay, so that's the the bullet done. We go back here. Next one is the bomb. That has values of 2 and 22. I'm just going to copy that and go to the bomb class. And for then, I'll put in, so that should be 2 and 22. Go back to my ship. Not my ship. Go back to the bullet. Sorry. And I'm just going to copy out that 2. Because when it comes down to it, I'm quite lazy. Put a comma in there. So that's one done. Let's copy those 2 lines for now. The next one we're going to do is the ship, and that is 4 and 6. So if we go and find the ship, where are we going? Ship, and this one should be 4 and 6. Oops. So that'll be 4. That'll be 6. So let's put that up there. I'll delete this line. Cool. Save that. Next one is the enemy. The enemy is 8 and 9. So if I go back to here, copy that yet again, go to our enemy class, paste that in. So that was 8 and 9. 8 and 9. Okay, actually it's called the same name, it's nice and convenient. Delete that. So that one's done. And our last one to do is the block, which we gave values of 16 and 19. So if I go back here, find block, paste that in. 16 and 19. Copy that up to there. Delete that. Save. Let's have a look what happens when I run it now. See, they drop bombs, they pass through themselves. My bullets collide with that, and it's all good. So now I need to have things happen when they collide, I guess. Okay, so now I'll close that for now. What should we start with? We'll start with the ship. So we've got a let's see what we've got here. We've got an event listener here, but we need to add a on collision event listener. So we should be able to figure this out. So it's a flight that's applying it to the spaceship group, which contains both the turret and the image. The image is not a special name. Someone mentioned it the other day. The image is just a name. It's all put inside the spaceship one, which we've now just applied a event listener to. We now need to add in the function for that, and now is the ship possibly colliding with different things? No, the ship is only going to collide. Where's the ship? Only going to collide with the bomb in itself, so I don't have to worry about different conditions here really. So if it does collide, for now I'm just going to make it print out, just something so I know it's working. Let's make sure that's calling it. looking at the screen. Yeah, that's not working, but looking back here I can see why. I'm applying a filter to the image, not the spaceship. So let's quickly change that. It's a mistake made early on. Rerun it again. Here we go, we got a collision and we're moving our ship around. So what do we want to do if there is that collision? We've got two collision things here. We'll delete the top one. Okay, so if there is a collision, first thing we need to do is clean up the memory, which means we're going to remove any listeners. We don't want it to be able to move after it's hit. So if I look there now and run it, it's going to take a while to get hit. There we go, this one should hit me. Alright, the collision, but you'll notice now, oh, it's still working. Alright, that's because I have not removed the this listener. So add that in there, change that to remove event listener. Now if we run it, gotta wait yet again, so you can skip. Alright. And now these buttons won't work, so I've successfully removed the listeners. Now I'm going to remove the spaceship itself. And then I'm going to null out this instance. And that's all I'm going to do for now. If you want to have a go onto the game over screen or something other, that's something you can implement. So, testing this one more time. This will be the slowest one to test. If I hit, I get destroyed. Alright, so that's the ship taken care of. Now let's take care of, it's working way along, let's take care of the enemy. So if we go over to the enemy, we need to put in a listener. So we'll go down to this start. I've already got it in there, collision. It's just probably not doing anything. Of course, collision is colliding with the left and right side. So we just needed to put in another if statement there for if it collides with a bullet. That means for the bullet itself, we're probably going to have to give it a name. So where are we? We'll just do it there. The reason we've got to give it a name is because we have to be able to test what it's colliding with, because it's colliding with multiple things. The left wall, the right wall, and now the bullet. Okay, so we save that. Go back over to the enemy. I'm just going to copy that line there, put it under there, else if event dot other equals bullet, then what are we going to want to happen? Well, much the same as we did for the ship, really. First thing we want to do is clean up any event listeners, so that'll get rid of the enter frame. That'll get rid of future collisions. That'll get rid of the listener on the left wall and the right wall. I won't bother testing that. We want to remove the image itself. We might as well cancel the timer for the bullet. We don't want that to keep ticking away. And we might as well nil out yourself. So that gets rid of this instance. Are they all saved? Yep. So if I go back to mine now and shoot, they disappeared. Okay, score didn't go up, so that's probably the next thing we want to look at. The score, we're going to just dispatch an event. So, and we'll attach it to the scene yet again. So we've got a message here. The message is just enemy dead. We don't need anything more than that. We're dispatching it, attaching it to the scene and dispatching it. Who's going to care about that? The HUD. So if we go over to the HUD, and we need to insert an event listener. So it's listening for enemy dead, which we just dispatched. If it is dispatched, we're going to load a function called enemy dead, and that's going to increase the scores by 10. So if I go over there and I shoot, nothing. It didn't work. If I look back at my code, let's see, because I've got that hard coded in as a 0. I need to change that to score dot. Oh no, that's right. Scored it. That's right. I've got that as a local variable scope. That score's only available in there. So if I get rid of that and I'll define score out here, so it's local to this class, not to just to that function. And so when you actually score there, it's actually referring to this defined here, so this can still access it. If I now reload it, still not working. Alright, that didn't work, but I think it's probably because, yep, I'm not calling the start function over here. Let's try this one last time. Please work this time. Yay, score went up. Cool. Alright, so that's the enemy. We probably need to also attach a collision listener to our bullet, because at the moment one bullet will pass through multiple enemies. If I fire once, probably not quite what we want. So in the bullet itself, we're going to add an event listener, which is going to be a collision listener. Alright, and we have to define that listener itself. What are we going to do in there? We're going to remove the two listeners to tidy up memory. Change the add to remove. Change the add to remove. Okay. What else do we need to do? Remove the bullet and nil it out. So if I reload that and fire a single, sorry, if I fire a single bullet, it disappears and the points went up. Okay, so that's the bullets done. Now the bases. Alright, so with the base, we don't really care what it collides with. It's not the base, it's the block. Sorry, because we're going to go down a level. We don't really care what it collides with, so we're going to have just add a collision. Yep, a collision listener there. Already got the function defined here, and in the function itself, we'll remove the listener. remove the listener, and I guess we'll remove itself and null it out. Oops. Move over. Let's shoot the base. Oh, I didn't get a chance to shoot them. Cool, so I can shoot through. The bombs, as you can see, aren't deleting themselves on collision. So we're going to go back and fix that now. So we're going to go over to the bomb.lure class, and on the we haven't got a collision listener on there. Alright, so when the bomb collides, we need to insert a listener here, listening for the collision. Define the function, hit again, should be pretty used to it by now. All that's going to do is, oops, didn't do that. All that's going to do is remove the listeners, remove itself. So hopefully now, if I go back here, one bomb will only destroy one base. Yes. Okay, we're almost there. I want the bases to have health. So we'll pause that. Let's go back into the block. Alright, so we need to have some sort of conditional in here so that it knows how many times it's been hit. So I'm just going to put in a simple variable here. It's just going to be called count, doesn't matter. Okay, and then down here I'm going to have a few conditionals. You could be flash and change the image if you wanted to. I'm not going to go that flash. So if it's the first time it's hit, do something. If it's the second time it's hit, do something else. If it's the third time it's hit, then we're going to remove, in order to be gone. So it's got three levels, no, 4 levels really. The initial state, first time it's hit, second time it's hit, and removed, four levels. Alright, so what do we want to do when it's first hit? Well, all I'm going to do is change the color of it. You could go a bit further and change the image if you wanted. On the Star Wars example, or Space Invaders example that you can see online, it kind of gets all pixelated the first hit. And I want to increment the count so that it knows to go up by 1. So the next time it gets hit, it's on 2. Okay, we'll do more or less the same thing in the second one, but we're just going to set it at a different color. If we run that, oh, we have an error. 46. Oh, else if. One word. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. All right, you could have it dispatch a score when you destroy a base. I don't know if you wanted to. Other things you could add into the game. You could have that guy coming across the top at random intervals, which he's got higher health, but he's worth more points. You could add in the runtime listener for the enemy. You could have the icon change every 100 frames or so, well, not even that many, every 30 frames. So it looks like, if you look at the original Star Wars, Space Invaders, sorry, it looks like it's kind of animated a little bit. You could have each row a different color. That'd be quite simple. And just apply a tint. You could change the icon if you want to go that far. Yeah, and that's about the whole game done for me. Oh, actually those bombs aren't dropping. Aren't they are now? Do I shoot one? Is that what? Seems to be working now. Just remember, if you're going to add other levels, if you decide you want to go on and do a bit more on this, to clean up everything on the stage before you go to the next one. So go through, iterate through the enemies, delete any enemies, delete all the bases, controls, stuff, clean up memory.